Tom, your bird.
This week on isletunes, we've got some independent ladies showing up in here, solo female acts of the island, including Nikkie Gallant, Trinity Bradshaw, Bettie, Lil Christer, and you're gonna hear exclusive debut material from up-and-comer Melody G. Yous ready, PEI? Let's get her done! How's she going, Prince Edward Island? I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to the February 20th, 2026 episode of the Music PEI Award nominated isletunes. Only 2 more weeks until the ceremony at the Harborfront Theater in Summerside. It's now too soon to start lint rolling my outfit for the evening. Hey, I've never run a podcast that's been up for an award before. You've also never heard the music of this episode's interview guest before. Melody G sat down with me in the isletunes studios, otherwise known as my basement, to talk about her imminent single release and album slated for later this year. It's quite the journey, and to say her musical coming out party is symbolic is an understatement of the highest nature. Hope you like your country, because you're getting 2 for the price of 1. Not that it's costing you anything to listen to this podcast, unless you're helping me defray costs by subscribing on Patreon or snatching up some isletunes merch at isletunes.creator-spring.com. Now, how did I manage to slip an ad in there? I mean, how did that happen? I'll distract you from that bit of crass commercialism by telling you about the first fierce female on our list. She calls herself a maker-upper of wordser, and not only crafts music to go around those words, she's been known to create pottery too. Nikkie Gallant's brand of indie pop earned her multiple Music PEI Award nominations, and she teamed up with New Brunswick folk feminist Kylie Fox on a pair of releases. Nikkie has also been active of late, letting islanders know about the effects of what has come to be called long COVID, the condition made up of over 100 possible symptoms one can exhibit 3 months after contracting the virus. For Nikkie, it has limited her ability to play guitar, and she's been vocal about suggesting there be more funding for research into this relatively new and not fully understood disorder. Some of the words Nikkie made up found their way into her 2022 album Subtle Motions. Listen carefully and you'll hear a reference to that title in this tune. Kicking off the latest bit of isletunes goodness, this is Nikkie Gallant with Sky, Sea, and Ground.
Down, can't get any wetter. There's a chill in the air, moss on the ground, feeling alone in this great big city, but I don't mind, feels like it's all mine. Wanna climb the tallest tree, just sky, sea, and ground. And you wanna dive into that ocean, meditate on subtle motions. I can feel the earth's hum, like my breath is just begun. Open to new things, I don't need my mask on here. Sometimes I need this, times I need to disappear. Tallest hill, live up there forever. I can see all around, just sky, sea, and ground. And you as I sink into the pillows. I know I'll long for home soon, but not yet. Today I live for cherry trees and sipping cider on the deck. There's no need to worry, though I need to fly, I need to roam. As long as I've lived, I always come back home. Wanna climb the tallest tree, live up there forever. I can see all around, just sky, sea, and ground. Wanna climb the tallest hill, dive into that ocean. I can see all around, just sky, sea, and ground. And you, and always you. And you, over here we're wasting days and months and years of our lives, while they're living day to day, hour to hour on the other side. Why can't we just admit when too much is too much? Who will be the first to say enough is enough? Did need become greed? Did we forget what it is to bleed when our eyes were closed? In our racing, always chasing, we are blind to simple pleasures that survival knows. Why can't we just admit when too much is too much? Who will be the first to say enough is enough? Every action is a choice, every faction needs a voice. So what will you say when it's your turn to decide? Will you run and hide, or will you seize the day? Landfills are overflowing with possessions we've been stowing just to fill the hole. While bodies waste away, we're wasting food, we're wasting space, but we pray for their souls. Why can't we just admit when too much is too much? Who will be the the first to say, enough is enough. Every action is a choice, every faction needs a voice. So what will you say when it's your turn to decide? Will you run and hide, or will you seize the day?
Carly Howell with Enough is Enough from the 2016 compilation album Where Our Hearts Used to Be on isletunes. This Manitoba native, who made their way to PEI with a stay in Toronto first, is proficient in the styles of jazz, folk, classical, and also Brazilian traditional and Brazilian contemporary sounds. Carly's work centers on the voices of feminized, trans, and queer artists, and being a co-creator of the Electric Storm Collective with poet Eva Tiani is just a part of that. The duo's initial pairing blowed up into a troupe of 15 musicians, and last year the collective released a 14-track album that has Carly's stamp all over it because they wrote the music for it. The album is When Lightning Strikes the River, and not only does it have a chapbook of the lyrics available along with it, you can also get your Electric Storm on with special edition vinyl. You know, when I planned to include this artist, I totally wasn't thinking that this past Tuesday marked the beginning of Lunar New Year. 2026 is the year of the horse, or the year of the fire horse. I admit I didn't know until now that elements are also associated with Chinese zodiac animals. I thought maybe a regular horse had had too much chili or something. But anyway, all by way of saying the selection of this singer is unexpectedly appropriate because Taiwan certainly celebrates Lunar New Year, and we have Bettii thanks to Taiwan. She first came here when she was in grade 8, and by grade 10 she was recording covers of songs and putting them up on YouTube. Just so happened one of the original artists saw her version and shared it, causing it to go viral and leading to Bettii gaining the confidence to start releasing her own compositions. Though she won Best New Artist at last year's Music PEI Awards, she's still studying music in college and is hoping to work with other island songwriters, so get in touch, y'all. In the meantime, here's a track from Bettii's self-titled album of 2024. She likes to write in both English and Mandarin, so here's some of the latter for you. isletunes brings you Ni Guang, which Google Translate tells me means hidden light. But there's no hiding the light of Bettii.
风缓缓吹过，雨轻轻滴落，想象世界这宇宙包围着我，花凋谢零落，乌云别再忧愁，反反复复揣摩不透，悄悄地拨开那团乌黑的棉花糖，偷偷地离开本来就不属于我的地方，就算可能会受伤，也曾千百次想象，尽管我不知去向，就算迷惘也要想，默默地和梦梦扑腾，把过去遗忘，坚持不懈不忘记我是那颗太阳，就像春天的花儿一样，生机勃勃地绽放。花凋谢零落，乌云别再忧愁，反反复复揣摩不透， 尽管我不知去向，就算迷惘也要想，默默地喝完梦破汤，把过去遗忘，坚持不懈不忘记我是那个太阳，就像春天的花儿一样，生机勃勃地绽放。
Bettie with what translates to Hidden Light on isletunes. You might guess that she's great on the piano, but she also taught herself how to play guitar, and she's skilled on violin as well. Probably not surprising since her dad is acclaimed violinist Tsu Chang Wang. Coming up, Brib shows you some mysterious aspects, a pair of punk proclamations, and Melody G proves to you that dreams never die. I didn't grow up here, and I don't know if PEI schools offer courses in island history or if there are textbooks devoted to it, but textbooks are clunky, and then there's paper cuts, so there's no need to comb through them, not when isletunes is here to do it for you in This Week in PEI History. February 24th, 1941, the Charlottetown Guardian ran a special notice to personnel of the Prince Edward Island Light Horse, which was a non-permanent cavalry regiment of the then Canadian militia, telling them that if they wanted to go on active service, they were required to report for medical examinations at the armories in Charlottetown on February 26th if they hadn't had such an exam already. There was an especial need for mechanics and truck drivers, and mind you, this was all in service to the fight against fascism that was happening overseas at the time. And the fight goes on. February 25th, 1870. Today you can call someone a heifer and it's an insult. But on this date, the Royal Gazette ran not one, but two announcements about literally having a cow. The first came from a David McClure of Northside Murray Harbor, who just wanted to unload a 3-year-old stray, and all the owner had to do was prove it was theirs and pay expenses to make Bessie go bye-bye. The second poster, a Margaret Bradley of Baldwin's Road, Lot 51, had a little bit more of a beef since her stray had been on her property since the previous July. If its owner didn't show up, Ms. Bradley was ready to sell her unwelcome visitor on March 28th to pay its expenses. Yeah, I guess it wasn't exactly free to feed the moo cows, was it? But think of all the free manure they must have provided. February 26, 1965, The Guardian printed a full-page image of a cogwheel with photos of various industries inside it, farming, fishing, tourism, and the like, and in the lower right, the only caption on the page was, quote, "The year 1964 saw the greatest progress in the history of Prince Edward Island. New industries, new schools, new and better highways, and new cultural institutions. The story of this growth and the outlook for 1965 is contained in this 6th annual Progress Edition," unquote. Granted, 1964 was the 100th anniversary of the Charlottetown Conference, so there was a big push to improve things province-wide to mark the occasion. Same year they put up the Confederation Center, and for the same reason, by the by.
Hi, I'm Baja Royalty, and you're listening to isletunes with Adam Michael James.
Best that I felt in a long time. You take my hand and we walk under the moon. How could I feel these feelings so soon? I guess that's what they say about love at first sight. It can't be true. You can be my Romeo. Just take a step back and I'll take it real slow. on your fingertips. Let's fly till gravity pulls us. Let's fly till gravity holds us down. I can't believe we've made it this far. You're in the passenger seat of my car. Stop the car and we'll drive somewhere. I'll take you to a place where no one cares. Up in the street, it's 10:15. Look into my eyes and I try to pretend that we're flying high above the sky. If you can be my Romeo, just take a step back and I'll take it real slow. I wanna be that girl you kiss, the warmth that you feel on your fingertips. Let's fly till gravity pulls us. Let's fly till gravity holds us down. Well, you could be my Romeo, just take a step back and I'll take it real slow. Wanna be that girl you kiss, the warmth that you feel on your fingertips. And you could be my Romeo, just take a step back and I'll take it real slow. Wanna be that girl you kiss, warmth that you feel on your fingertips. Let's fly till gravity pulls us. Let's fly till gravity holds us down. Gravity holds us down.
Trinity Bradshaw on isletunes with a selection from her 2011 album Final Thoughts. That was Just You and I. The Summerside native is a realtor by day. Hit her up in her Charlottetown office if you need some new digs, but there's nothing to sneeze at regarding her musical real estate either. Trinity has played across North America, and like her idol Shania Twain, she's performed at the Cavendish Beach Music Festival. She already had music coming to her at the age of 10, and you gotta love this mantra. She says, "I write songs that make people feel. I sing them to make me feel." Are you feeling stuff? Good. Then everything in you is firing off right. A Middle Eastern Prissy Andrews? Maybe that's not how Ella Montgomery originally envisioned the 2T of Mr. Phillips in Anne of Green Gables, but singer Nadia got to play the character on the Confed Center stage during the musical's 2022 summer season. That's right about the same time Nadia was recording her brand of pop-infused R&B and releasing singles plus videos. The girl from Charlottetown, in fact, picked up a Music PEI Award in 2024 for Best Music Video, and she's not done yet. Word has it she's working on her first EP, which, in addition to generating more videos, will contain both a bolder, rawer, more personal POV and a more vulnerable side at the same time. You're going to have to wait for that, as no sign of a release date yet, but don't fret. You can sate yourself with Nadia and her 2022 instruction Tell Me How, which I have to tell you is requirous of an
isletunes content warning. Listener discretion is f***ing advised.
Tell me how, yeah, tell me how you came in a turnaround. Tell me now, yeah, tell me now before you turn this shit around. Lately I've been feeling out of touch. Your energy's too much for me, and I'm losing all my love. And clearly you don't really give a fuck about me. So how can I clear my mind? I try to find, but it's been battered 2-3 times. You keep coming around again. clear my mind. I try to find, but it's been about 2-3 times. You keep coming around again. Hey, yeah.
One night could change my whole life. Your dendrum lights, watch the feelings I tried to fight. Rewind, just sipping port wine, tearing you wine under me. You gasp as I take control. I grasp you, feel mine. You're cold to the last of who I'm into. So as I dig my nails into you, you're taken to my childhood. Turn around, I did a 180. Aspect of mystery, aspect of mystery. And I've seen you struggle not to say it to me, but in your eyes I see aspect of mystery. Dreams of the famous push and shove. I feel that kind of the word that rhymes with this. Flashbacks to you making me laugh. I think that we would clash on repeat. You gasp when I say you're beautiful, relaxed. You say it's wonderful to have someone who understands. When I dig my nails into you, you're taken to my childhood. Turned around, I did a 180. Aspect of mystery, aspect of mystery. And I've seen you struggle not to say it to me, but in your eyes I see aspect of mystery. Would we ever last? Because the fire burns fast, the flames my golden breast. I didn't think I'd see the day when you couldn't brave even the shallowest way.
singer, songwriter, budding artist, and Ginger Deluxe Brib, with an offering from her EP Wave Commandress from 2022. Of course, you're hearing it on isletunes. Brib is a graduate of the Holland College School of Performing Arts and has developed what she calls a soft and airy style, influenced by her faves Melanie Martinez, Lana Del Rey, and Taylor Swift. It's been a few years since Brib's last release, so like Tay-Tay, it'll be interesting to see what era Brib does next. The defining feature of punk, besides guitars that scream and microphones that get screamed into, is lyrics meant to buck the establishment and or bring attention to issues in a countercultural way. That's a lot to pack into the typically short songs that come out of the genre, but the island's Lil Christer has followed in all of those Doc Martens footsteps. This enigmatic punker, who perhaps fittingly there's very little about online, fully admits to producing hardcore punk, but also says that the music leans into grindcore, which is an extreme fusion of heavy metal and hardcore, and power violence, which is raw, underproduced, and taps into punk's more challenging qualities. Who says this show isn't educational? In 2023, Lil Christer released an EP focusing on environmental destruction, fascist scum, get after it, and the apparent failure of the existing social order. And though there's only 3 songs on it, they're, as I said, short compared to most other styles of music, so break out the safety pins and get ready to poke them wherever, because you're getting 2 tracks back to back. This is Lil Christer setting this podcast on fire. First, with the title song from this collection, it's Burning Trees in a super hot
isletunes Rock Block.
What's going on here? What happened?
The system is down, yo.
A twofer of what Lil Christer calls DIY one-woman hardcore punk on isletunes. First, Burning Trees, and second, Collapse? Yeah, that's a question. Here's a question. Did you know that Lil Christer plays everything on her tracks and records and mixes them herself? That's up there in the territory of Prince. Still to come, Natalie Duguay wants to know what you'd say, and Melody G is two melodies in one. Did you see all those mega thick icicles hanging off island roofs this week? Not just thick, they were sharp. Though not as sharp as the axe you can catch on stage from tip to tip, see what I did there, which I'm going to tell you about in Gigs to Dig across Prince Edward Island. Friday, February 20th, it's Ledwell and Haynes as part of the Winter Shine series at the Scott McCauley Performing Arts Center in Summerside. Saturday, February 21st, it's Cabane Fever with Vishten, Malkin, Jean-François Berthiaume, and Louis-Simon Lemieux at The Mac. Thursday, February 26th, lots going on that day. Island Jazz Groove Company is happening at Baba's Lounge. A night of songs and stories featuring Shane Pendergast, Amelia May, and Liam Corcoran is at the Trailside Music Hall. And finishing up the 26th, it's Saltwater Dollies, Remy Arsenault, and Caroline and Family, as also part of the Winter Shine series at the Scott McCauley Performing Arts Center in Summerside. Looking into next week, February 27th, it's Jimmy Rankin's Kitchen Party featuring Catherine McClellan and JP Cormier at the Harborfront Theater in Summerside. Also on the 27th, Dennis Ellsworth is at Baba's Lounge. February 28th, it's the beginning of Music PEI Week, Battle of the Bands with Space Bud, Kratom, Dear Blossom, Sundown, Her Travesty, The Driftways, and Lillian. They are all at the Guild. Also on February 28th, the Swoosh is at the Trailside. And March 1st, it's Tara McLean with Kinley and Ben Aiken at the Trailside. Don't forget, Baba's Lounge holds an open mic night every Wednesday at 9 p.m., hosted by the one and only Kinley.
This is Karen Pyra coming to you from beautiful Park Corner, Prince Edward Island, listening to isletunes every week.
Qu'est-ce que tu dirais si on laisse tout de côté, plus de travail, plus de ménage, plus de marché, on ferait ça, toi et moi, les anges à nos côtés. Et le diable en train de pousser. Ça te dirait-tu d'aller faire une randonnée et jaser des heures de temps à mes côtés? On ferait ça, toi et moi, les anges à nos côtés et le diable dans nos souliers. Qu'est-ce que tu dirais si on prenait un peu de temps pour se rapprocher, se laisser porter par le moment? On ferait ça, toi et moi, les anges nous portent en garde et le diable en train de tenter. On ferait ça, toi
iTunes delivers Nathalie Duguay, though I like to call her the ND. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. That's Qu'est-ce que tu dirais, or what would you say, if Google Translate isn't messing with me, from her 2023 album Virtuelle. Like Nathalie herself, the collection is in both English and French, duh AMJ, I just noticed that, and it was nominated for Musique PEI's Prix de l'Acadie the following year. Nathalie is newer to releasing recordings, but not to performing on stage. She's done so with Route 21, Tidal Tones, Got Blues, and somehow I think her duo Nat and Wayne will always be a thing. That said, her most recent recording was the single Nuit Blanche, which came out last March. I think it's probably safe to say that everybody has a dream in some way, shape, or form, at least one. And if my own experience has taught me anything, it's probably also safe to say that everybody has had to shelve a dream at some point. Lots of well-meaning people will tell you that you've got to be practical and realistic as well, which is why when you pick a dream back up after a sizable length of time and begin pursuing it, it's all the more special. My interview guest this week has been learning that as she gets back to her roots, not just aspirationally, but quite literally. The result is a debut single due next week in advance of an album that's going to hit this summer, and lordy lordy is it full of melodies. When you've got a name like Melody G, it better be. Here she is in this countrified iTunes interview. You know, there's always been this weird thing with the entertainment business, music especially, and that is when you get to a certain age, you kind of get put out to pasture unless you're a veteran act, and even they get overshadowed by the newer, shinier toys in the musical toy box. I've got a lady here whose mantra is dreams never die, and not only is that the damn truth, that's the title of her upcoming debut album, which is going to see its first single released next week. Her own dreams spent time on a shelf, but now she's dusted them off and is pursuing them full tilt. Here in the iTunes studio, otherwise known as my basement, I'm proud to offer you a formal introduction and to play you some exclusive stuff in addition to that debut single. To tell us about all of it is Melody G. Miss Melody, welcome and congratulations on making your dreams a reality.
Hi, thanks. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm super jazzed that you're here. Melody is an apt name, I think, because music has been a part of your life since the very beginning. I understand that you're from Ottawa originally, but came to PEI when you were 3, and that makes her an Islander, y'all. I don't want to hear it. And it wasn't long after that you got involved with the string program and step dancing classes, I understand. So tell us about those and how they influenced you on your musical journey.
Well, to start with, my daddy and my godfather gave me the name Melody. My daddy said that my cries were like music to his ears.
And you don't usually hear that from a parent. Nice.
No, but hey. So we moved to the island, my daddy's home, when I was 3. Mom was with DVA. That's how that happened. But when it came to step dancing and strings program, well, let's see. It was before I started school that I started the step dancing. That was Shirley Burke. And I did that for a lot of years, winning a lot of awards. I learned a lot of, Celtic and, maritime reel type music, a lot of fiddle music from that experience. And I still cherish those memories. It was grade 3 that at Glen Stewart Elementary in Stratford here that the opportunity came about to join the strings program. It was a separate music experience, and instead of the traditional, just singing and notes, you're learning to read music, you're getting trained in playing classical music. And I got to learn the greats like Mozart and Chopin and all that. And I got to take part in the singing strings program. So I can proudly say I'm part of that. It's my alma mater, so to speak, I guess.
What a foundation, though.
Yeah.
It's really a foundation. And you and I are both from the MTV generation.
We didn't get access to MTV until much later.
Until it sucked?
Yeah.
I know that Motley Crue was one of the artists you listened to,
Still?
along with Fleetwood Mac, of course, Stevie Nicks,
yes,
and Cyndi Lauper. Now we're getting into pop, and of course, my favorite, Madonna.
Absolutely.
That's right, bitches. So what did you pick up from all these artists, watching them, and how did that affect forming your own style?
I guess you could say it's the lyrics, and a lot of people listen to music just for the beat or just for the tune, but it's the stories that are behind those songs. Like, I, not knowing whether they were real life to those singers or not, but to me it was like, oh, I can just put myself in that story and I can escape. It was my way of living here on little old PEI with all our, quiet ways and stuff. I was able to escape to the big cities, and I could escape to La Isla Bonita, and I could be that fallen angel from the Poison talks about, or I could, be walking down the street of LA and, floating along to Jim Morrison's Love Street, or, when it came to forming my own style, I want to be able to give that to my listeners. And I'm very much an eclectic person, so you'll hear a little bit of everything in my music. This album is it sounds very country, but not all of it's gonna be, it's not the country you hear today.
Your upcoming album is much more straight up country. So what drew you to that genre instead of going pop rock? So what made you decide to go in this direction?
Oh, it's really there is a couple of exceptions, but most of these songs were written, earlier on, even 5, 10, 15, mostly 15, 20 years ago. I finally gave in to the pull to my roots. I grew up with the old country. My daddy brought with him vinyl records that he literally bought for a penny or 2 pennies when they first came out. We're talking Marty Robbins, Jim Reeves, Charlie Pride, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline. I had stacks, Johnny Cash. I had stacks and stacks of really old vinyl music, and the odd ones like that my sister might have left behind, but I could listen to it daily, like on his old hi-fi stereo. So that's my roots, and I really can't deny my roots any longer. I've fought it a long time, and it's not that other music is not still there for me. There's songs that I was writing when I was with Dreams that are still there. They'll still come out at some point. But what better place to start than with your roots?
Yeah. I'm speaking with melody maker Melody G on iTunes. And so let's talk about the album, the title, Dreams Never Die in particular, because lots of folks see themselves doing this, that, or the other thing, but then you get responsibilities, you get obligations, and things go to the side and people don't really pursue what they really want to do. So what made you decide it was finally time to resurrect your dream and follow that start of this first release?
First thing was our kids finally grew up. We had our kids young and really close together. But the benefit of that was we're still young enough to do something else with our life at this point. And I look at it as I lived one dream. I wanted a family, and I still have that family. My husband's right at my side, supporting me. So are my kids. And my other biggest dream was to be a singer. And I never stopped loving singing. I quit smoking 3 years ago. My voice has come back stronger.
Great.
I had a heart attack, which resulted in heart stents, which gave more blood flow to my lungs, and found out I had asthma, got that under control, and it just built my confidence. The more I got fixed up, and my husband's like, you really should just go for it. And why not? I've had friends that are in the industry tell me it's never too late.
Exactly. Now, I'm always about full disclosure on this show, so I do have to mention that you turned to AI to generate some of the music.
Yeah.
And though your vocals are bona fide Melody G,
absolutely.
I know it can be hard to get actual musicians together. And I remember you were talking about the band Dreams. I know that fell apart. That was going on when you and I first met.
Yeah.
And there's always a lack of budget when it comes to hiring musicians. That always comes into play too. So did all that factor into why you went with AI? And are you looking to work with live musicians in the future?
I would absolutely prefer to work with live musicians. The reason I turned to AI is a lot to do with the difficulty, especially here on PEI, to find musicians that are ready and willing to dedicate the time and energy. So when I discovered the program that I use, I'm like, okay, here's my chance. I can get the music I want put to my vocals with my lyrics. And then after I have it in that form, I can get real musicians. I can, audition and get real musicians that are willing to take and play those so that I can do live shows and I can pay them, and my future albums can be real musicians. I try to use as little AI as I possibly can.
I mean, the whole thing really kind of makes me nervous.
It makes me extremely nervous about what it could potentially do to the music business. Don't get me wrong.
Just on that front, yeah.
Yeah.
But
It'll do until I have a band to summon when I'm ready to put a song together.
And you guys, I know we have a growing music scene out there, so some of you people are going to want to work with this lady. So some of you guys get in touch, and we are going to hit you guys with a Melody G rock block, country block here in a second. But first, we should probably describe what you're going to hear. So the first song is an exclusive sneak preview from your album, and iTunes is honored to be getting that exclusivity, if a podcast can be honored anyways.
I couldn't imagine doing this without giving you some exclusive tracks. You've been there from the beginning of this chapter for me, and I've been honored to be one of your first listeners right from the very first episode. So what better thing to do than give you an exclusive or two?
I'm very grateful on all fronts. The song is East Coast Opry Dreams. Most of you guys out there know that the world famous Grand Ole Opry is country music's epicenter in Nashville, Tennessee. So how did that get translated to Atlantic Canada?
I can remember, watching the Grand Ole Opry on TV with my daddy, Minnie Pearl and, all of those, and thinking, I want to be there someday. This song is a kind of a overview, so to speak, of where I'm at now. That's my goal. Before I die, I'm going to sing on that Opry stage. That's basically what this song comes from.
Nice. It's a great song too. And then of course there's the big one, your debut release, I Wasn't Ready, which comes out next Thursday, February 26th. Now singles and albums traditionally used to come out on Tuesday until the last decade or so. Now it's Friday for some reason. So tell us about the song and why a Thursday release, because they're connected.
Yeah. The song I Wasn't Ready, I wrote quite a number of years ago as a way to try to process the loss of my daddy. And it came a long time after his passing. He passed in 2002 on February 26th, which is why, and honestly, so did a number of people close to me in my daddy's family. And the reason I chose February 26th to release the song is because I need to finally have a happy memory on that day.
Yeah.
And my daddy, from, as long as I can remember, was my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. The song's about him, so that's why I picked that date.
I love that. I think your dad would be proud of you. I really do. And I think that all y'all listening out there should be, because Dreams Never Die is something that we all need to remember. Do you have a release date for the album?
I've set it for August 6th because that will be mine and my husband's 29th anniversary.
Nice.
And if you want to put an order to my biggest fans, he's got to be the second biggest fan.
For sure. and I looked it up. August 6th is a Thursday too. So you got a thing going here.
East Coast Opry Dreams and I Wasn't Ready will definitely be on the album.
We do have these two songs. So here's how we're going to do this. First, the exclusive, the iTunes exclusive. We're going to listen to the unreleased East Coast Opry Dreams, which you'll hear this summer. And then you're going to get to hear the single that comes out on Thursday, I Wasn't Ready.
And the pre-order starts right the same day that this podcast goes on.
See? So pre-order today. It's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
Melody G, I am so glad that we've had this chance to talk about your debut.
It's always fun.
And mega good on you for making sure that your own dream didn't die. Congratulations.
Thank you
that's an
so
important
much.
thing. Now, MTV sneak preview video. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong bumper. Old habits die hard. This is the exclusive cut East Coast Opry Dreams from Dreams Never Die, dropping later this summer on iTunes.
Small town lights on the Atlantic shore, salt in the air, screen door slamming more, hi-fi humming, Loretta's old tune. I'd sing along, pretend the mic was mine soon. Dolly's hair, Patsy's soul in my chest. Daddy said, girl, you're gonna catch your breath. But I close my eyes, see that stage so bright. Heroes up there singing their own line. No guitar in my hands, just a voice unsteady. But I practice in the mirror like a Reba taught me pretty. Notes a little sharp, but my heart was loud. Dreaming of the day I'd make the crowd proud. East Coast girl with an open dream. Dolly smile and Betsy scream. Reba's fire, Loretta's true. Stevie's heads and Judge Brew. Now the kids are grown, husband's by my side. Karaoke nights kept the spark alive. Finally my turn, my voice, my song's gonna work my way up where I belong. Wife and mama, years rolled on by, laundry piles, lullabies, but the dream didn't die. Kids got tall, left the nest, spread their wings. Husband said, darling, time to let yours sing. Karaoke bar, neon sign glowing red. I'll step up slow, hard in my head. Stand by your man, a coal miner's daughter. Strangers clapping, man, that felt like water. No guitar in my hands, just a voice now steady. Husband's front row yelling, that's my baby. Notes a little clearer, heart still loud. Finally feeling like I'm making that crowd proud. East Coast girl with an open dream. Dolly smile and Patsy scream. River's fire, Loretta's truth. Stevie's as a Judge Brew. Now the kids are grown, husband's by my side. Karaoke nights kept the spark alive. Finally my turn, my voice, my song's gonna work my way up where I belong. They said you're too old, you're just a mom. But Dolly started late, look where she's from. Raymond didn't quit when the road got rough. Loretta sang for the ones who had it tough. So I'll write my lines, sing them from the soul. Husband's my manager, my biggest role. No fancy band, just me and my voice. Gonna chase that up and make that choice. East Coast girl with an Opry dream. Dolly smile and Patsy scream. River's fire, Loretta's truth. Stevie's edge, the Judge proves. Now the kids are grown, husband by my side. Karaoke nights kept the spark alive. Finally my turn, my voice, my song's gonna work my way up where I belong. East Coast girl with a happy dream. One note at a time, gonna make it sing. Like Dolly, Reba, Patsy, Loretta, Stevie, the Judge, till they paved the way. Now it's my turn to sing my own songs up on that stage. Small town lights on the Atlantic shore, salt in the air, screen door slamming more, hi-fi humming Loretta's old tune. I sing along, pretend the mic was mine soon. Dolly's hair, Patsy's soul in my chest. Daddy said, girl, you're gonna catch your breath. But I close my eyes, see that stage so bright. Heroes up there singing their own line. No guitar in my hands, just a voice unsteady. But I practice in the mirror like a Reba taught me pretty. Notes a little sharp, but my heart was loud. Dreaming of the day I'd make the crowd proud. Oh, East Coast girl with a happy dream. Dolly smile and Patsy scream. Reba's fire, Loretta's truth. Stevie's edge, the Judge Brew. Now the kids are grown, husband's by my side. Karaoke nights kept the spark alive. Finally my turn, my voice, my song's gonna work my way
one at a time, gonna make it sing. Like Dolly, Reba, Patsy, Loretta, Stevie, the Judds, too, they paved the way. Now it's my turn to sing my own songs up on this stage. East Coast step retreat, it's time to come in low late.
isletunes World Premiere.
You loved me first. Your arms were the first to hold me. You loved me at my worst. You were the first to protect me. I wasn't ready to let you go. It hurts to live in this world without you. I don't know if you know, but I wasn't ready to let you go. You were my first love. You showed me what it means when push came to shove. You were always on my team. Your blue eyes shone like the sky. Your heart lit like the sun. I just wasn't ready for it to say. I wasn't ready to let you go. It hurts to live in this world without you. I don't know if you know, but I wasn't ready to let you go. Each day I asked why the sun had to fall from the sky. I still hurt so much, still sit back and cry. Selfish as it may seem, the truth of it is
Still sit back and cry. Selfish as it might seem, the truth of it is I would never be ready at all. I wasn't ready to let you go. It hurts to live in this world without you.
Melody G, with the second of two cuts set to be included on her upcoming album Dreams Never Die. That was her tribute to her dad, I Wasn't Ready, on isletunes. A reminder, that song is available for pre-order now and will be released on February 26th. Well, this episode is a done deal, so if you enjoyed it like I hope you did, please let friends, family, and others know that there's a podcast which plays nothing but music made by PEI artists. Kinda a thing, you know? If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe, tap the bell and all that so you get notified when new episodes go up. And there's nothing saying you can't join up on the isletunes Facebook and Instagram accounts where you may share posts to your heart's delight. I know the best way to promote anything here on the island is by word of mouth, so go on and use that superpower to contribute to my podcast delinquency. Want to get in touch? In addition to messaging me on the socials, you can send requests, comments, etc. to amj@isletunes.ca or leave them on a voicemail at 902-807-4250. Musical contribution to the isletunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaux. I'm Adam Michael James, and I now return you to your life already in progress. Next week, we'll do it all again with another brimming batch of songs recorded by Islanders, both the born heres and the come from aways, because that's how I roll up in here. There are so many genres and eras to choose from on the island music scene, and you never know what the muse is going to compel me to play, so make sure you tune in, if one can do that with a podcast, and find out. So much crazy stuff going on in the world right now, especially in the US of A, which now stands for authoritarianism, and there are those in Canada who would like to follow suit. Sometimes all you can do is remember the words of Dutch diplomat Gijs de Vries. Ultimately, freedom and democracy are stronger than fear and tyranny. You know it. Thanks for listening, PEI. See yous in 7.